Good morning. This is the Blaine's World podcast that can be found each week on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also listen in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and get more information about previous shows on our website, which is behind me, blainesworld.net. I'm your host, Blaine Greenfield, and I'm here in my Zoom studio in lovely downtown Fairview, North Carolina. And each week we focus on positive news and information about people and organizations in both Western North Carolina and throughout the country. And toward that end, it's my pleasure to introduce Lauren Wilkie, CEO, and Sara Cole, Community Relations Director with an organization called Safelight, for being my guest today. And folks, you can wave to all your fans and friends who are watching this on YouTube or wherever they're watching it. Okay, that is Sara and Lauren. I should mention Lauren Wilkie is a licensed independent and clinical social worker uniquely qualified to work with advanced licensure in both advanced nonprofit business practice and clinical practice. She served as the CEO of Safelight in Hendersonville since August 2020. In her tenure, she has helped diversify and double Safelight's annual operating budget to over $3.5 million. Sara Cole is the Community Relations Director at Safelight, an agency she has been part of for nearly 8 years, serving survivors locally affected by violence, abuse, and exploitation. Originally from Mississippi, but calls Western North Carolina home for over 25 years. In her current role, she oversees all volunteer initiatives, ensuring each person feels valued and equipped to make meaningful contributions and impact. Sara is a member of the Safelight fundraising development team, helping secure vital resources to help the budget gaps necessary to successfully serve survivors from church crisis to sustainability. So the first question I ask folks is in terms of asking, I guess, Lauren this. As a child, you grew up where?
I grew up in Effingham, South Carolina. That's in Florence County, but it's a whole lot more fun to say Effingham.
I love that. I was wondering. That was the name of it. Great name. And so, growing up as a child in South Carolina, did you always know you wanted to be involved as a CEO with a nonprofit in North Carolina?
Well, I think most people who've known me and Sarah would probably agree I'm pretty bossy. So that's always been a clear skill set that I own. Yes and no. I knew for sure I wanted to be a therapist at a pretty young age, and I have held that, but through my experiences in nonprofits now over 23 years, my skill set really varied and more deeply let me practice how to teach therapy and skills, but more importantly, build programs and keep them sustainable, both through finding funding and using the right tools to explain the story and connect the data to continue to build and help more people. I will tell you specifically, this is a passion of mine in this work, and I hope it'll show through the podcast.
And the incredible thing, Lauren, with what you mentioned, you said you've been doing this for 23 years. You started what, when you were seven? Was it you were like
17.
seven? Okay, I was going to say
Started working
seven.
in nonprofits when I was 17 years old, on the side, while also working with my parents who own their own businesses that dealt with landscaping, gardening, and we had a plant nursery and Christmas shop. So lots of retail therapy and fun.
When you're working with nonprofits, was any of that as a volunteer basis initially?
It started as a volunteer and quickly became part of my work training. My first engagement was for school education, and then it really morphed quickly into being part of a clear role that this was going to be where I was going to end up.
You know, it's so cool what you did, and if anybody's listening, they should keep in mind is what a great way to find out about an organization or see if this is what you want to do by volunteering. And
Absolutely.
we'll
I
talk
tell the
a,
kids all the time. I just told one of our employees, or excuse me, board members, that his son, who wasn't sure what was next post graduation, I said, volunteer. You'll find your skills, you'll find your passion, you'll get, free, quick ways to learn skills with folks while giving back.
And what's so cool about what you said is I find an amazing large number of people who start out as volunteers oftentimes go to work for the organization, so
Absolutely.
point well taken. And so the same questions for you, Sara, that I know we mentioned that you grew up in, what was it, in Mississippi. You grew originally from Mississippi. As a child, did you know you wanted to work with nonprofits?
No, I did not. I did not know that I wanted to work in a nonprofit. Being from Mississippi, we didn't have a lot of nonprofits in our small community. And so I really wasn't even aware of what they were, how they worked. What I wanted to do was focus on horticulture, which is what I moved here to do in 2002, and specifically to work with children with special needs. And while I didn't create that nonprofit yet, it's something that when I found Safelight, I actually found Safelight through Dandelion and through the job training program that they have. It just lit my heart up. And I thought, what other way to give back than to work with those that are in need and just to help build that empowerment. So yeah, it was not nonprofit work wasn't what I wanted to do originally, or thought about doing, but it's my passion and my purpose, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to be present and do what
And
we
so
do.
back up, you mentioned Dandelion. What was that?
Dandelion Cafe. It's
Oh,
our
okay.
cafe. Yep, it was launched in 2013 to be the cornerstone for our job training program. And so we're able to have our clients sign up when they're ready for that next step to be able to come in and train, whether it's at Dandelion in the restaurant or in our resale store. And then now we have a new product line that we've launched. And so that is an extension of the job training program piece.
And we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but what's the new product line?
So we have worked together collectively to launch, and I even have a couple of packages. But we have our homemade focaccia. We have a classic Carolina pound cake. We have an old-fashioned oat crisp topping and a double chocolate cookie bar. And so we're able to make these in-house. They've got our labels on the back. They've got QR code to link to our website. Tells a little bit more about our story and how to get in touch with us.
How cool is that? And how long have you had that product line?
September of
Just
2025.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
But we've been working on it for over a year with product development, and so over the summer I had to forcefully in my role taste and help bake and trial and error many versions of these four final products. There was a lot of pound cake happening.
Sounds great. And Lauren, to just back up a little bit, since we're talking about Safelight, if you can, for the benefit of folks not familiar with Safelight, what is the organization all about?
Oh, yes. So we're really grown, and we started in 1984. Historically, we have had five agencies and three mergers. So we're poly-victimization, domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, elder abuse, and child abuse. So we say we serve anyone who has experienced violence, abuse, or exploitation. And what's so great about our programs and services and the mergers we've had is we're able to offer a full range of programs to take someone out of crisis, out of being unsafe to safety and sustainability. We do that through seven programs, dozens of services. But in summary, we are mental health providers, trauma experts. We are providing case management, counseling, housing, employment, and all the pieces in between to get someone to safety.
And when we're talking about someone, are we talking primarily about women or exclusively women?
Nope. We are women, men, and children, but I will tell you statistically, we do see a lot more women than men.
Okay. And so the way I'm saying it's sort of like a soup to nuts approach. You know, you'll
Yep.
take somebody who's in having dire circumstances, and then it must be very exciting to then take them through all the steps and get them functioning successfully.
Yeah. Some people only need a few pieces here or there. Some people might need a few days, but the ones we really get to watch over multiple years go from having nothing in the shelter, low hopes, fear to leave, fear to work, really grow and go back into our community and flourish and come back as volunteers. And I've gotten to see this in my career happen so many times now. And those people who needed a lot to get there, but that we get to really be part of their lives for years. But I tell you, it's full circle when they come back to be volunteers, supporters back in the agency. It really is building a safer community.
And so, in terms of the number of people you serve, approximately in any given year, is there an average figure of how many you
Yes,
serve?
over 1,300 a year. And I will tell you, the five
Wow.
years I've been here, that number's gone up a little bit. But the scariest part is it's always 40% children.
and they're perhaps the least protected or the ones who need the most help. Do any of them as children, and in terms of children ages, what are we talking about?
All ages. So when I say children, it means you're 18 or under. Although technically, I know some 30 and unders that are still children. But we use the 18 and under for that statistic. Um, and what's so great about Safelight is we run all these programs I'm talking about, but when we see a gap, we work with our partners. We have over 35 partners and contracts that we do work with. So while we're the case managers and mental health and counseling and a place for people to go for safety and get job training. We partner with and have on-site legal support with Pisgah Legal. We have on-site medical partners with our children. We have Advent Health with our adults. We have Blue Ridge Health. We have Blue Ridge Humane Society on-site coming with our pets and shelter. We built it in December 23, 3 on-site dog kennels, 4 on-site cat kennels. So if you're fleeing violence, your cat and dog don't have to be left behind or put in foster care. They can come too. We've had over 60 pets to date since opening. Help us. But we have such a great partnership with them so that we don't have to be experts on the food, the vaccines, the medical care. They can do that and we can focus on the people. So it really is allowing a space that we can all bring our expertise together.
Very exciting. I didn't realize that with the pets. Do people bring the pets with them, or can they bring the pets with them?
Yes, you can't get one after you're here, but you can flee with your pet. We don't let people then go to the pet store and have at it. But yeah, we've had just as many dogs as cats, and it's a real treat, especially when there's kids in the family, to see them continue to have some normalcy and walking their dog and playing with their cat and having that loved one here with them. Only 18% of shelters like ours offer this program nationally, so we do help keep pets and survivors together, which is really part of the healing process.
Very exciting. I also imagine too, even for some of the volunteers, it's probably exciting to have the pets involved too. You know, that it makes it like a real community. You know, it's not just a place where you go, but you actually live there. And so in terms of living there, how long do folks stay involved in the program or involved with the
It's
program?
a great question, and I'm proud to say people are staying longer and longer for a couple of reasons that are good and for a couple of reasons that are bad. So people who stay longer statistically are less likely to return to violence and return to shelter. So we're reducing that national figure that's 7 times to leave and go back before you leave for good. Statistics show if you come and stay over 3 weeks, the likelihood of you going back significantly reduces to one or zero, and we're able to really get you to safety and keep you safe by building a community. So we've seen our shelter length of stay on average go from 0 to 3 to 3 to 6 months. Now that number gets skewed significantly. I'm going to be a data nerd for just a minute, but you get outliners. So people who only need a day or two because they're coming and they're just in our help to get to a safe person they already have. So they might need a bus ticket or support to get to that next step. They just need us for a few days to get that bus ticket or transportation home. So it can make our numbers look a lot more skewed when someone just needs a little bit. But then I sometimes get people who stay with us 12 months. So can get skewed the other way too. But the average is 3 to 6 months.
How about also in terms of an average, the um, the amount of returns, you know, that people
Yes.
are with you, and I guess you've indicated they can come back if they have to. How often does that happen?
Happens quite a lot. The great thing is we want people to come back. We want people to know we are safe. We're not judging you if you went back and you're ready now. That's the great thing about any of our programs. There's no funding that restricts number of times that you come or how long you can stay. It's when you're ready, we're going to walk with you. As long as you're walking with us, we're going to get you there. And same with our other programs. What I love about our therapy, we do trauma focused therapy only. So it is brief. It is only focused on the trauma around what you've experienced, but you could do it at any point in your life. So you might be elderly just now ready to talk about your child abuse, and we're here for you.
It's interesting. I didn't realize that, but you mentioned elderly. So what's the range of folks who do get serviced by Safelight, age-wise? You said from
Oh, yeah. So
childhood.
I mentioned 40% children. Hang on, I got a cheat sheet right here. I'm glad. And then we see for 18 to 24-year-olds, that tends to be about 8%, excuse me, 55%, or excuse me, 8%. I can't read my numbers. 25 to 59, I know that's a big age range, but that's meant to be the working age, is 55%. And then elderly or over age 60, which I guess isn't really elderly, but that's the federal number, is 5%.
Okay. And unfortunately, I've read or heard that that's, if anything, growing, that there are
Yes,
more and more cases like
because
that.
our population of older adults is growing.
And we'll switch then a little bit to uh, Sarah, if we can, and that's where you come into play. I guess you come into play in two areas with respect to Safelight. One, I guess you're helping raise funds for the organization. That's one of the things you do. And we'll take both. And you also work with getting volunteers for the organization. So let's take volunteers first. How many volunteers do you have with Safelight, Sarah?
So we actually have over 100, and about 75 of those are active volunteers. I just did the numbers for December reporting, and we had, I think it was about 65 volunteers and over 500 hours just for the month of December. And
Okay, and
that's with
so
people on vacation and through the holidays. We are so appreciative of all of our donors and our volunteers. We literally could not do what we do without them. And volunteerism can look like helping out at our resale store with steaming, sorting, pricing, organizing, to serving meals at Dandelion. And then we have some other direct service volunteer opportunities where our clients or excuse me, our volunteers are called to be available to go to court support and support our clients when they have to go to court and face their abuser. They don't have to do it alone. We also have hospital accompaniment, which looks like an on-call basis. When we have a call that comes in that someone's had a sexual assault or a domestic violence situation and they're at the hospital, we get called in and they accompany one of our staff and they're there to hold hands and just be supported. So
so in
there's a
terms
wide range.
so in terms of volunteers, if folks come to you and they don't know what they want to do or they don't know how to volunteer, you'll put them to work.
Absolutely. I love to meet them where they are, kind of like what we do with our clients. My thing is, let's get to know one another. What's your background? Where are you from? What drives your passion? When it comes to volunteering, you want to do something that's going to be fulfilling to you, but also that's giving to the nonprofit that you're volunteering for. And so it's really important to be able to match up personalities, backgrounds to have the right fit. And it's been quite amazing to see how people just come together and fit right in.
Is there
And
an
some
age?
people end up doing things that they don't necessarily think they want to do, and then they fall in love.
Is there an age range in terms of volunteers? Age range.
We have young teens that are able to come in. A lot of times, teenagers, whether they're a junior or senior in high school, they're trying to get some volunteer hours for school. And so they just have to have a parent sign off on that, and they can come and get their hours with us. But then we have all the way up till, retirees. I've got some volunteers that are in their 70s and 80s, and they're still plugging away and love to show up and support.
Can
So,
I add to that if I
please.
may? I love seeing the teenagers in our resale store because that program's open on Saturdays, so it usually lends to our kids who are in school. But it's such a fun program to be in because not only do you get to, decorate and have fun with some display areas, but just finding what they find to dress themselves and have fun in. It's just a real joy to see these kids find their treasures.
If you would, Lauren, talk about, I guess, the two aspects, I'm now remembering it, of uh, coming on board with you folks. So there's Dandelion is an actual cafe, is that correct?
That's correct.
And explain what happens to the cafe. Is that what hours you open and who can come into it?
Oh,
And
sure.
talk about the other aspect, yeah.
So they're right beside each other, the Safelight Resale Store and Dandelion Cafe, right on Fifth and Church, across from the new parking garage. The cafe's open from 11 to 3, but we also do caterings. We do private breakfast and dinners in the space. So it's just a wonderful, very local spot to get fresh sandwiches, salads, homemade soups. I had a just the most delicious black bean goat cheese burger today, which isn't normally my go-to, but I was just in the mood for some goat cheese today. And it was just fabulous. So it's just delicious food, great atmosphere. It's definitely a local spot to meet and see a lot of people. And it's fun. We have visitors coming in and seeing the energy because it's a real, I mean, it's just a space of sunshine. You can feel the love and the engagement as we're training survivors to get back into the workforce. And it's just a really great team and it's delicious. And
But
as Sarah mentioned, the product line is now part of that.
so that's staffed by volunteers, but it's also staffed by people who are being serviced by Safelight.
That's right. We are a living wage certified agency. So
Oh,
at any time, we have several job trainees who are getting paid as survivors to work and train with us in the store and cafe. And what I'm calling our Keebler Elf factory downstairs for our product line. Although I need to come up with our own name for our bagging area, but it's where we're creating the mixes for the delicious items.
and so it's very cool that I'm very impressed that you're paying them a living wage as well. So they're
That's
not
right.
just doing it on a volunteer basis, but they're actually getting paid and they can use that money. That's great. So if they come as a volunteer, both of you can answer this. So if they come in, they don't necessarily have skills, or I guess in terms of the cafe, are they actually doing the cooking and the preparation as well?
We have some that like to get back in the kitchen and prep.
Yeah.
So they're prepping, whether it's chopping chicken for the chicken salad or vegetables for the soup. And then we have some volunteers that are like, I don't cook in the kitchen. I just want to bus tables and serve folks, refill tea, water, whatever. And then basically kind of be there to engage with the folks that come to dine with us and to share our story. There's a lot of folks that come to Dandelion because they Googled best restaurant in Hendersonville,
Really?
and we come up as one of the top. I think we're still in the top two, or three maybe. But they have no idea of the scope of services that Safelight offers. They don't even know that we're a part of Safelight. And so I actually have folks that will come and visit from out of town every year. And once they found out about us, their donations, we don't take tips. We just get donations in lieu of tips. And we have folks that when they find out about our mission, instead of $5, it's $100. And they love to come and support.
So when they come in, it's on it's on a street, and so they don't even know what it is. I guess some people just come in and walking off the street.
Come on.
They hear tomato pie, shrimp and grits, chicken salad. We're in.
I mean,
So
I'm sold.
do some of these
You'll get me
people?
anywhere if you feed me.
Well, I'm getting hungry just listening to this as well. So when they come in, do some of the people actually pick up job skills? Not necessarily only as a server, but do some pick up cooking skills or kitchen skills that then
Oh, absolutely. So we're teaching across the board life skills. So in the cafe, addition to learning again to work with a team and with a manager, you're learning catering and cooking, cleaning, cashier. In the basement with the product line, you're getting advanced skills with math, but also with product development and placement and marketing and promotions. And then with the store, you're getting product placement and design and creation and pricing. So it's a wide variety, but then we work with local folks in our community, both the community college for additional trainings and ongoing. We have one job trainee who's leaving us because she's going into real estate training. So started with us and is going into that. We have a job trainee who's gone in for catering. We have some that are head chefs in a key restaurant in town. I've got one who's finished Blue Ridge Community College, and she now is a nurse on the mental health floor at Advent Health. I mean, it's just a start to get your empowerment, your skills, your time back for when you're ready, but we're just a stepping stone.
some of the folks start with you, and then as they're still staying at Safe Light, work elsewhere. They can do that as
Yes,
well.
absolutely. So you can work with us or other places. We actually have someone today who just had an interview, and I'm eager to see how it went and if she got the job or not.
And so we've talked about the cafe, Sarah, if you would. So there's also the retail store aspect of this. Explain what that is.
So with the resale store and kind of, are you talking about the job training? or just the volunteering?
I guess no more the job training, or they go just walking off the street. If somebody comes into the retail store, what will they see?
They're going to see the most lovely resale boutique in Henderson County. Our staff and volunteers and our job trainees take so much pride in making sure that our resale store is top notch. We're very blessed too to have the support of the community. Most people that donate to our resale store, they know our mission, so they save all of their best of the best, the bougiest of bougie gets donated to us because they know it's going for a good cause. And so the money that we raise from those sales goes right back to help fill the gaps in the fundraising in our annual goals. So
Can I
um,
add for me when I need a break? Because this job is hard. Um, we hear some pretty horrific stories. So when I need to break in between things that are happening or stories that we're learning and going through, I go in there for a little affordable retail therapy for myself.
retail therapy, yes.
And I always find something fun. It's on any given day, I have something on from Safelight. So it's men and women and children clothing, but even more especially, we do a lot of housewares and furniture. So when we have people who are ready to move out, and we house over, uh, over 50 people a year. We help move into housing. Just this past year, we can go there and make baskets of silverware, dishes, bedding, towels, all the housewares, and just load it up, furniture, and take it to their space, which is just a great way to get people started in their own home. But I also have to tell you this because I will be in trouble if I don't. Our resale store windows won Best of for the first annual holiday competition for
Very
Henderson
cool.
County. They were gorgeous.
So
Yes, they were.
it must have been fun for the people putting the windows
So
together
much fun.
also.
So much fun. They did an amazing job. And that was a mix of definitely Kim, our staff member leading the team, but volunteers, donors, supporters, other staff all jumped in and had fun with that.
So if people, Sarah, want to get involved in that aspect of what you folks do, um, I guess it's on the website, or they can find out information about how to give and what's the process.
Absolutely. Our website is www.safelightfamily.org. And so you go straight there, you can find out how to get involved. My email's listed on there, Lauren's is as well. We love to have people come and sit at the table with us. Take an hour, sit at the table, take an hour, let's talk, let's tour. We love to give tours of our space. Um, those that want to donate, a lot of people can just write a check because this is something that means something to them, or it's just a great organization. But when you can actually come and spend time and walk through and see what your dollars or your time is committed to helping, it's a whole game changer. It's an eye opener. And again, when I talk about the scope of our services, so many people don't realize all the many different things that we do. So when you can take a minute, come break bread with us at Dandelion. Let's talk, take a tour, and get involved. Find out how you can help in your community.
By the way, if somebody's interested in that, and that's a great idea you just shared, the best bet is to actually contact you first before they come to Dandelion. Even though they can walk in Dandelion, they can walk off the street, right, to Dandelion.
Absolutely.
Right.
We have business cards at the register.
But if they want to find out more, I like what you just said. They can do both things. They could come for lunch, but then see, I guess, you at some point in time before or after.
Absolutely. At any point in time.
Okay. And so,
But
yeah, go ahead.
if I can, not everybody is a donor or volunteer. You might need our help. And we were here to help you. We have a 24/7 hotline. So you can call us anytime, get a staff member on the phone, and start talk through safety planning and just figure out where it is in the process and what help you need, and we'll connect you.
Okay. And that also must be very exciting for you. Not that you have to help people like that, but when you do, it must be very rewarding to help somebody who is in crisis, I guess.
It is. I think what's the most exciting part is when we see someone who's helping themselves. So it's when someone takes advantage of all these things that are here for you, that we've set up and we keep tweaking based on feedback we get. But when I see someone who gets empowered and finds their joy and their hope and their empowerment and then goes on to do bigger, better things and come back and share where they are. And sometimes that's as a volunteer, sometimes it's just a thank you note that we keep and share with each other. But I think it's really the excitement of when we see people find their joy again.
And especially as you mentioned, it must be so rewarding when they come back as a volunteer.
Oh, it's the best. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, see them too. Talk about just a couple other things you folks do. One of them I have down to ask you about is actually a bunch of things, but one is called Job Safe. And what is Job Safe?
So we offer safe on-site jobs. I think that's maybe what that's referring
Right.
to. So both in our store and cafe, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but paying living
Oh,
wages
okay.
for clients to get them back on their feet.
And then also another thing, Power Solutions. You have a sponsor
Oh, yeah.
of the Power Solutions program. What is that?
So Stellar Power Solutions has been a longtime friend and sponsor. Cheryl Stellar was a volunteer in our court advocacy with our Family Advocacy Center, which is a Family Justice Center affiliate national partner with us. And as a volunteer with us so long, she stays engaged. She knows how big the work is that we do. And so they're big sponsors of our agency and recently our product line expansion.
Okay. And the product line expansion just blows me away. That
So cool.
who came up with that idea, and then how do you come up with the products to actually sell there?
It's a long story. I'm going to summarize it. We had a local partner who started a product line, Mimi Mountain Mixes, in the basement where our current kennels live now for shelter. And she was retiring and offered to sell her business to us. And I said, well, I don't think that we want what you created, but would you teach us how
Mhm.
you did it and help us create our own? And that's where it started, is she just kind of came out and I said, well, we've got this space we're going to renovate anyway. Is it big enough? Could this happen? We toured her space. We went down the pipeline of learning for over a year of what it would take to do it, how many hours, how many people, what's the cost of setup. We were able to get a grant through SCCU Foundation to renovate the space and get the startup equipment. And everybody just said yes to this crazy idea. And our cafe team, with Ashley as our leader and our manager, we started with a couple of recipes from internally from staff. And we tweaked those as we went, and we did lots of competitions against each other. Like we had make the best pound cake day, make the best cookie day. And as those would win, we would then take that and do 30 variations on that item until we got it perfect as a base product. And now we have a basic vanilla pound cake that we play with in the cafe and do different seasonal flowers, like flavors, excuse me, like pumpkin or using local apples and doing an apple chai pound cake. So it's just been fun for all of us. And I'm sure we'll add more, but we just knew we were going to start with four to see how we went and just see if people liked it.
Now, Sarah showed the package. You had one of the packages there with you. So those products now are available in through the retail store. Is that
Yeah,
how
you
they
could
get
buy
them?
them at the Safelight resale store or at the Dandelion Cafe. Now, in a few months, we're learning, we're growing. We will add it to a website for ordering, but that's several months down the road.
Okay, you read my mind on that. That's pretty cool though to all of a sudden do this. And do you see that growing in the future? Do you think there'll be other products?
We hope so. So, what we want to do first, and Sarah and I are working heavily on this, is figure out where else we want to put it to start with online sales and maybe some local grocery stores. And then as we move and grow from there, maybe we add a couple more. We've toyed with maybe a dog item, maybe a protein packed item. So, we've talked about different stuff, but to be fair, our community, our clients, the love of what people enjoy is what's going to drive that answer.
And just mentioned earlier, a great opportunity for anybody to learn about something new. You know, if they want to get involved in this, others volunteer, or do you call them, are they re people who live there? Are they residents or what do you,
Residents.
residents? But what an opportunity to try something new or be into something different if you've never done this before. You know, whereas you said, if somebody's listening wants to help you get this off the ground, mail order, you know, come and share, you know, their expertise. What an opportunity for this. And another opportunity we've alluded to it, Sarah, but I guess this is where you come into play, is that in addition to making donations of clothing and other items as well, you do take, as mentioned before, you do take cash or checks if people want to contribute. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have donors that will do a monthly contribution, an annual contribution. We have legacy giving. So it's kind of across the board. We'll say yes to any donation.
Okay, and the best way to
Stocks, Bitcoin, whatever, however you want to
Yeah.
go, we'll go with you.
who would have thought? And the best way to find out about that, Sarah, is again through the website.
Through the website. Yes, there once you go onto the website, there's a donate now button that you push and it just takes you and walks you right through it. If there's any questions at all, again, my email is listed, Lauren's email is listed. Michael Beaver is the director of development. His email is listed. So you can just reach out to any of us and we'd be glad to take your hand and walk you through it.
And how many staffers do you have on board?
43.
43. Who would have thunk? And then I have to ask you one final question. You mentioned off the air, but I can't read my writing, which is always a problem. I asked you before, Lauren, do you have anything else coming up on board? And you mentioned there was something coming up,
Yes.
and what was that?
So we are not only currently the largest survivor shelter in Western North Carolina, but we're about to be your extra largest. We have 13 bedrooms. We serve anywhere from 32 to 35 clients a day. I have 34 today. 18 of those are children. But we're adding 7 more bedrooms this spring, and we hope to open them in April. So our shelter is adding the capacity to serve 16 more survivors.
Okay, very, very exciting to look forward to. And so the best way to folks to find out about you or keep in touch, again, the website tells all this information.
It does. You can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram. So check us out there and see. I will warn you, we do have a dandelion page where you can also see some of those delicious items. So you can follow Safelight and our Dandelion Cafe.
Okay. Again, once again, if you give the website information.
www.safelightfamily.org.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank, first of all, the both of you for updating me on what Dandelion has grown since I was there about maybe 5 years ago, but just incredible. And thanks for all the good work that you do. And
Come eat with us.
okay, well, I got the invitation, I said a bunch of years ago. Now you're having me next time in Hendersonville. Come on down. I'd also like to thank my producer, Cappy Setti, and I'd like to, again, thank you both for the good work you're doing for the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
You
Thanks for having
bring
us.